My beloved child, there are days when you feel as though the fire is consuming you rather than refining you. There are nights when you doubt that I have left you, abandoned you in a darkness without an exit. Yet it is in the depths of weariness that I am quietly shaping you for a glory never before seen. Trials are not your enemy, yet they are not a gentle companion either. They come like a blade cutting deep into your pride, eroding your patience, shattering your plans. I allow them not to destroy you, but to awaken the hidden places you have kept in the shadows. If you see trials only as punishment, you will fall into bitterness. But if you recognize them as the sign that I have chosen you, you will realize you are being lifted from the furnace, not forgotten in it. Often you believe delays and silence are rejection. But I want you to understand it is precisely in the waiting that the greatest lessons are learned. I do not build houses on sand, and I do not build your life on shallow ground. That silent time is when I am strengthening the foundation so that when storms come, you will not be swept away. You do not see it, you cannot feel it, but my preparation is always firmer than the weight of your worry. There are faltering steps, not because you are weak, but because you have allowed bitterness and comparison to seep into your heart. A single rusted fragment of envy can ruin the entire structure I am building. That is why I continually invite you to guard your heart so that you do not lose your journey to a few whispered lies of the enemy. Do not let loneliness make you doubt, for it is in the wilderness that I teach you to hear my whisper most clearly. So begin to look directly into the nature of your trials. Do not run, and do not label them with tragic names. To recognize a trial is the first step to not misreading it as punishment. Some trials are public, visible to all. Others are battles fought only in the private chambers of the soul where no one but I can see. It is in that silent space that your faithfulness is revealed, and there I weigh the truth of your devotion to me. You often tremble when the fire flares up around your life, thinking it is the sign of my rejection. Yet in that very flame, the truth of your heart emerges. Some tests I allow you to face openly so that others may witness and your humility be tried. But there are also quiet fires known only to you when in the night your loyalty and faith are torn by doubt. Do not be mistaken. I never use trials to extinguish you. I use them to measure whether you are strong enough to carry what I am about to place on your shoulders. In the moment you think you are forgotten, that is when you are sitting for the examination of the chosen. Trials do not appear at random. They arise from my intent to work within you. If you live only in ease, your faith will be like a thin coat of paint peeling at the first touch of rain and wind. I need fire to burn away pride and darkness to expose the cracks of the heart. Remember, ease has never produced warriors, and glory does not come to those afraid of dirty hands. Trials are a tool, not an enemy. They reveal your true self so that I can mold, heal, and rebuild. If you refuse to face them, you imprison yourself in a fragile shell, unable to bear what I have destined. Do not rush to close your heart, nor let bitterness obscure the light within trials. Return to me, lay your burdens down, and I will show you the true meaning of these weary days. When you dare to look up, you will see it is not a fire of destruction, but of refinement, separating gold from the mud. Allow me to take your tears as seeds sown into the soil of faithfulness, so that tomorrow you may stand stronger than ever. Do not forget, it is in the secret room unseen by others that your faithfulness becomes a fragrance pleasing to me, and I will never allow such faithfulness to be in vain. Once you have dared to identify and embrace your trials, you will step into a quieter season without applause, without spotlight, only the long silence of my presence. Do not panic when I do not answer at once. That silence is the next part of the journey. If the refining fire exposes your heart, the quiet season is when I strengthen its foundation, preparing you for the power you cannot yet see. There will be long days when you wander through still lands and your prayers seem to bounce off the stone walls and fall back upon you. My silence makes your heart tremble because you think you have been removed from my plan. But my child, even when darkness covers you, my hands are still at work. Do not conclude that I am absent, for the hidden season is not emptiness, but the time when you are sheltered in my thorough preparation. I have never built glory on a cracked foundation. Just as a seed must endure being buried before it can sprout, so must your faith spend time hidden to grow roots deep. If you emerge too soon, the light of exposure will cause you to wither. Think of Joseph. The years of betrayal and prison were not neglect, but my hand training him to one day bear the throne. Remember Moses. 40 years in the wilderness were the silence I used to shape him before entrusting him to lead a nation. No one I choose escapes that journey, and you are no exception. Therefore, instead of blaming or condemning yourself, return to me with a steadfast heart. Do not let delays cool your faith. I never keep silent to abandon, but to build you into a vessel strong enough. Hold fast to the words I have promised, for they are a lamp in the dark. Hurry will only lead you to dead ends, but patience will open the door to the future I have prepared. Like a potter who does not stop until the vessel is complete, I too will not cease shaping you until you can hold my glory. And when you have learned to stand firm in the season without applause, your heart will grow less fragile. But remember, there is an enemy more dangerous than silence, bitterness, and temptation, which can silently sabotage the process from within. You must learn to keep your heart whole so as not to lose the journey over small cracks. It is not only storms from without that shake you, but the hidden fractures within that bring you down. You may endure open opposition, but falter at a few grains of bitterness seeping into your heart. A glance of comparison, a whisper of doubt, a mocking word can be enough to weaken you. I do not allow these things to destroy you, but you must stay alert. Do not let these fragments undo the great work I am building. If you loosen your guard, you will find yourself lost even while still on the right path. Bitterness is like a hidden root, unseen yet draining life. It makes you view everything through shadows, forgetting the graces I have given. Temptation is subtler still. It does not arrive like a storm, but like drops of water eroding your resolve. Even those I love dearly have known this. David, in the wilderness, was not undone by enemies before him, but by loneliness and the longing to be seen. Elijah, after a radiant victory, was crushed by a single threat to the point of wishing for death. Do you see? The truest enemy often is not outside, but resides in an unguarded soul. So I invite you back, not in straining effort, but in surrender. Offer me your heart so I may cleanse and heal its hidden corners. When you learn to trust me even without evidence, you will discover peace surpassing understanding. Do not let bitterness darken your heart, nor let temptation lull you away from the process. Instead, let your heart become my dwelling place where light is no longer veiled by shadows. Then you will see that simplicity and trust alone will keep you standing. And when your heart is kept in purity, loneliness will cease to feel like a threat but become a gift where you learn to walk with me. In stillness you will find that true strength does not come from noise but from my sweet presence. This is your next step, learning to transform loneliness into strength, standing firm within my presence. There are moments when you walk among crowds yet feel lost inside. Loneliness does not always arise from a lack of company, but from the deep emptiness within the soul where no true comfort is found. You think it a sign of my absence, but in that very stillness I am teaching you the lesson of my presence. Do not fear the darkness of loneliness, for it is the shell I use to draw you into the secret place where you and I meet without witnesses. You have not yet realized that true strength is not born in cheers, but in silent moments before me. Jeremiah wept alone, believing himself abandoned, yet his tears made him a mighty prophet. Esther trembled in the palace with no one on her side, but her quiet courage in prayer opened a path to save her people. Do you see? The loneliness I allow is not to crush you, but to create depths no outward success can give. Return to me. Do not resist the silence. Instead of letting loneliness consume you, let it become the space I fill with peace. In prayer and stillness, I want you to anchor your soul in me, so you will no longer be swept away by the world's noise. The peace I give is unlike the fleeting peace of men. It is the sign you are on the right path, not pressure, not suppression, but a quiet strength. When your heart begins to rest in me, loneliness will cease to be a threat and will become the place of your restoration. And when you have learned to stand in my presence, you will know you cannot keep this new life for yourself alone. I did not form you to remain hidden in shadows, but to step out as an instrument of hope. You are called to bring this light to your generation, those lost and thirsting for a guiding flame. This is the next step you must courageously take. My beloved child, the light I have placed in you is not meant to be buried beneath the ashes of fear. You have passed through refining fire, stood firm in silence, and kept your heart pure. Now you can no longer shrink back because of others' eyes. The world is trembling, many souls are weary, and I want you to become the answer to their thirst. You are called to go forth not in self-exaltation, but with a light bright enough to guide the lost. Remember that hope is not a sweet illusion, but a strength rooted in a shaken reality. When you dare to live your calling, you become proof to others that I still act. The cloud of witnesses, those who have finished the journey of faith, did not stop with themselves, but left a trail for you. Now it is your turn to continue so that this generation will not sink into hopeless darkness. Do not fear your smallness, for it is in weakness that my power is made perfect. So I call you, do not keep transformation for yourself. Open your heart, step forward, offer the comfort you have received, and share the light you have been given. When you become an instrument of hope, you will see that every trial you endured was never meaningless. It was all preparation for living fully into a mission greater than yourself. I walk with you, and every step you take carries the breath of new life to dry souls. The journey from refining fire to glory does not end in personal victory, but in the fulfillment of your calling. When you stand in the place I have prepared, you will see pain has become testimony. Darkness has turned to witness, and my presence has made you a lamp that cannot be extinguished. And through the light you carry, this generation will know that I, the Lord God, am still at work in a trembling world. Though you walk now in the thick darkness of trial, do not think each tear, each trembling, each aching heartbeat is meaningless. Hidden deep within lies a sacred intent, a refining that lifts you beyond yourself. Every wound you have borne is not an ending, but a seed for a new harvest in your life. I am quietly engraving upon your heart an indelible mark, so that when the storm passes, you will know you are no longer the same. You have been reshaped by the hand of the loving guide. And in this very moment, you begin to feel the stirring of a gentle yet unyielding power, like a soft wind moving through the cracks of your soul, blowing away old fears and igniting new hope. I am opening your ears to hear more clearly the call of the sacred, no longer muffled by noise, judgment, or the clamor of the world. You will no longer chase praise or seek human approval, for I will become your only confirmation, the surest and truest voice within your spirit. In the silence, I will speak words not only to touch your mind, but to sink deep into your soul, soothing all chaos, dispersing all shadows, and opening a space of peace such as you have never known before. When you ask, what will come next, open your heart and listen, for I will not leave you blind upon your path. You will no longer grope in uncertainty, for I do not guide my children through spirals of chaos, but by a clear purpose and an ordered journey. You will begin to perceive these shifts as gentle waves at first, then more distinctly as I gradually remove from your life all that no longer brings life, no longer nourishes your soul. Do not mistake this as punishment, for it is part of the preparation leading you towards something greater. Some who once walked with you will part ways. Some old habits will close on their own, and places once familiar will grow strange. Yet do not cling, do not mourn as these things fade, for everything I take away is to make room for what is better and more enduring. Each branch I prune today is so that next season may bear more abundant and vibrant fruit. And any door I close before you, trust that I will open a larger, wider door leading you to a land you have not yet imagined. You must understand that this arrangement does not come overnight, but through a patient process, like a potter shaping every line of a clay vessel. There will be moments when you feel empty, alone, as if you are losing everything, yet that is precisely when you are invited to pause to realize you are being purified, released from invisible bonds. Do not rush to judge these changes through the eyes of the present, for you cannot yet see the whole picture I am painting for you. You stand now upon the underlay of that canvas, and today's darker tones will make tomorrow's light shine brighter. I do not only desire to make you stronger, but also to refine your heart, to make it more sensitive and discerning, able to recognize the call of the sacred amid the clamor of life. I will also rekindle the dreams you once buried, but not as before vague and flickering, but with a clarity and weight never known. Those dreams will become reminders, lanterns, guiding you forward. You will come to see that what you thought was an ending is but a new beginning. What you perceived as loss is in fact a gift, only wrapped in different paper. Each event, each departure, each letting go carries a deep message. You are being prepared for a wider journey, a higher calling you have yet to comprehend. Let your heart open like fresh soil awaiting seeds. Allow yourself to walk without needing to see the entire road, for I have gone before you. Each step you take is upheld by my hand, and each pain you bear becomes a stone laid in the foundation of your future. One day you will see that all which once caused you sorrow has become lessons, gifts, and marks, bearing witness to your resilience, to the love and guidance you have received. Do not fear loss, for I take nothing without giving you something greater. Do not fear silence, for in that very silence, my voice resounds clearest. Do not fear change, for within every change hides a blessing. Trust and release, and let me do my work within you. Remember that what is happening is not only to change your circumstances, but to transform you from within. When your heart is ready, when your soul has been prepared, what I have promised will come like dawn. Surely follows the long night, not early nor late, but at the right time. And when that moment arrives, you will discover you are no longer the same person. You will rise with new strength, new faith, a new heart that loves more deeply, forgives more freely, and lives more openly. You will become a living testimony to those who are lost, that even in pain an unseen hand is sustaining, guiding, and transforming everything into good. You will shine not because you are flawless, but because you have walked through darkness and kept the light. You will become hope for those in despair, a reminder that no pain is meaningless and no journey is lost within the sacred. This is my purpose, not only that you may know me, but that you may become a sign of me in the world. Through you, others will be upheld, enlightened, and led back to peace. And in everything you will see my hand in loss, in change, and new joys, all arranged with delicacy and perfection. You will no longer need to ask, for your very life will become the answer. You have walked through days when each step felt like sinking into silent depths, as though time stretched endlessly with no one watching, yet it was there that I laid your firm foundation. In the quiet of hidden seasons, I've been weaving strands of light around your life like a patient artisan, stitching each thread into an unfinished tapestry. It is not that I forgot you, but that I know if a seed sprouts before its season, it will be frail and easily swept away. Thus I kept you in the quiet, away from noise, so your roots could go deep, your heart become tender yet steadfast, and your eyes learn to see beyond the present. When you felt most alone, I was closest, for I know that silence is not abandonment but preparation. Now as the night thins and light begins to slip through the cracks, I invite you forward, not with the haste of one afraid to miss their moment, but with the calm of one who knows they are exactly where I lead. You need no longer bear the weight of proving yourself or seeking recognition, for I am the one who will make the way, lifting you above every gust of doubt. You need not strive to be seen, for I am the light shining through you, a light that cannot be hidden. What I seek in you is not a heart hungry for power, but a heart ready to receive. My glory as a river receives rain, holding nothing back but letting it flow, refresh, and revive the barren places you pass through. You will see the wonder. Your name will be known not to lift you up, but to magnify my glory. For I have found in you a humility deep enough not to be spoiled by pride. The trials you have endured were not signs of rejection, but refining fires, purging every false intent, removing from you all that is not of my truth. Without the hidden time, you would not have learned to listen in silence, nor to stand firm without the applause of crowds. Those long nights have etched into your soul a quiet strength, one that cannot be stolen nor shaken by shifting winds. You were chosen not because you are perfect, but because you allowed me to shape you. You were hidden not because you lacked worth, but because your worth was too great to be revealed before its time. You will come to see that every step you took, every seemingly meaningless turn, every closed season was a line in the picture I am painting. No stroke was wasted, no color misplaced. Even when you could not sense me, I stood behind you, steadying each step like a father holding his child, learning to walk, knowing there are times to let go, yet never truly letting go. In that stillness you have found yourself and my voice, in the depths where the world's noise cannot reach. Now I tell you, the season of hiding has ended. The seed has rooted deep enough to endure the sun and wind. The young tree is strong enough to reach for the light. But walk not with the pride of one who thinks they achieved this alone, but with the steadiness of one who knows they belong to the one who leads. You need not grasp for attention for your very presence. My light in you will draw and transform. You need not struggle to be seen, for I am the one who makes you visible. Know this, no promise held by me can die. You are called not to stand still, but to step out, carrying the warmth I have placed within you to warm a cold world. You will see doors open not because you knocked hard, but because I went before you to open them. You will see walls fall not because you pushed them, but because I breathed upon them. And you will realize that the silence of previous years has trained your ears to hear my whisper even amid the crowd's noise. This is a preparation nothing else can replace. Remember, the glory you carry is not your own. You are but a vessel of light, a conduit of living water, a lamp lit to guide others. And precisely when you touch no praise, when you return all to me, the light shines even brighter. You have been chosen because you can do this, a rare grace. I have tested you to refine, hidden you to protect, and now I bring you forth to reveal. Fear, neither the light nor the darkness, for both are in my hands. Simply walk, neither hurried nor afraid, for all is already ordained in love. What you have endured is not a period but a comma, a pause to breathe, to prepare for a more radiant chapter. This new chapter will not resemble any before it, for it will no longer bear the taste of solitary striving, but be filled with the imprint of grace. You will walk no longer trembling but steady, like one who knows they have a place, not one seized, but one prepared by me. You will no longer seek recognition in the eyes of others, for you already have it in mine, and that is the only recognition you need to live, to act, to give. I delight in you not because you are perfect, but because you are ready, ready to release, ready to hold nothing back, ready to mirror my light. You need no longer fear being forgotten, for I never forget you. You need not fear losing a promise, for I am the keeper of promises. As you step out, all you have been through will become testimony, strength, and story to uphold those walking their own wilderness. You will be a living witness to my faithfulness. Go, my child, not with trembling hands, but with lifted eyes, an open heart, and steady feet, for you do not walk alone. My wings still shadow you, not to hide, but to guide. My light still shines, not to cover, but to shine through you. And my glory still rests, not to weigh down, but to lift you up, that you may be proof of love unchanging. This is your journey, from the narrow place into the wide field, from the hidden season into the harvest, from trial to glory, all in my hand. And now, as you close your eyes to listen, you will find I am still there, not as thunder rolling, not as distant mysteries, but as a gentle breeze passing through your soul, touching the places where doubt once hid, brushing the cracks within arcation. Your heart. I do not reject the quiet questions you hold, nor see them as betrayal of faith. On the contrary, I welcome them as a mother opens her arms to a lost child returning. I do not seek to cover your frailty, for it is precisely there in your trembling, your confusion, your loneliest hours that my strength is made complete, that my love sinks deepest. I do not want you to strain to prove you are worthy, nor demand that you wear a flawless mask to be accepted. I know who you are, the hidden corners you've never spoken, the stumbles yet to come, and still I choose you fully and without hesitation. I choose you in weakness, in wandering, even when you think you are not enough for. My love is not based on achievements, not measured by performance, but springs from my own nature, a source that never runs dry, a light that cannot be quenched. The days you thought you were wasting your youth, drowning in waiting with no escape, were the very days I was quietly preparing you. Every seemingly meaningless moment was a brick I laid into the foundation of your soul, so that when harvest time arrives, you can bear the weight of what I am about to give. The seasons you called failure, I called building seasons of deepening roots, preparing for branches to stretch wide. You are not delayed as you think. You are being fortified, formed into an inner structure of steadfastness, purified from noise to hear my voice. A voice unlike any other, gentle yet resounding, small, yet strong enough to shatter every fear. I know you have doubted, have asked why you must walk dry paths, why prayers seem unanswered, why beauty feels so distant. I am not angered by these questions. On the contrary, they are signs that you still long, still seek, still open your heart to hear me. You may come to me with all your honesty, with fragments of faith and unwept tears, for I am not afraid of your vulnerability. From the beginning, I placed within you the capacity to love, to endure, to rise, to grasp my hand in the darkest nights. I do not need you to be perfect before coming near. I want you to come near even in your unfinished state, that there I may bring forth completion. You think you are lost, but truly you are on your way home. You think delays mean you are unworthy, but in truth, within the delay, I am teaching you patience, trust, surrender, the deepest lessons. You cannot know all I have planned, but I know all you need. You cannot see the entire path, but I have seen it from beginning to end. Not a single drop of rain falls, nor a bird crosses the sky unseen by me. How much more do I watch over your life? I have built within your soul a temple that endures, though you have not yet recognized it. A temple formed by silent prayers, tearful nights, faithful days, without visible result. Every failure you perceive is but the surface of a great work being completed within. And when the time is ripe, you will look back and see that every step, every pause, every pain held meaning, each one part of what I have prepared for you. Do not be afraid of your weakness, for that is precisely where my strength is revealed. Do not be ashamed of your doubts, for they are the bridge through which you will find deeper answers. Do not fear when you feel you have nothing to offer, for I have not come to take but to give. I do not look at you with eyes of judgment. I look at you with the gaze of a father who understands everything, of a teacher who knows every turning, of a companion who does not abandon you in the desert of loneliness. You are being set apart from the noise, not to be forgotten, but to learn how to listen to. Listen to your own heart, to the subtle sounds of the universe, to my voice like a breath that soothes your soul. When you learn to recognize my voice among the countless others, fear will lose its hold. You will walk gently, yet firmly in unchanging love. From then on, doubt will no longer be a chain, but a step leading you toward maturity, toward the place where you are invited to become your true self. Therefore, my child, come to me with everything you carry, even what you think you should leave behind. Let me cleanse, heal, and renew your heart. Let me turn barren seasons into times of bloom, tears into seeds of hope. Believe that nothing you go through is meaningless. I will not abandon you, never. Even when you cannot feel me, I am there like a heartbeat, silent, yet indispensable. You do not need to strain to be enough, for I have called you enough from the very beginning. You do not need to prove your worth, for I placed that worth within you before you even knew it existed. You do not need to run to win love, for my love has embraced you since you were only an idea. You do not need to fear delay, for delay is not an ending, but the time I use to write the most beautiful things for you. And when you understand this, you will find yourself free to be weak, free to question, free to believe, without seeing the outcome. You will see that every step, however small, carries meaning. You will see that every season, however dark, bears the seeds of new life. You will see that every sorrow, however deep, can become the soil of resurrection. Let these words soak into your heart like morning dew, upon dry ground like light slipping through a crack in the door. Let them become your breath, the gentle strength you need. I am still here, and I do not change. Everything I promise will be fulfilled, not in your time, but in mine, which is perfect. And as you wait, remember that waiting is not standing still, but growing, blooming from within, learning to hear my voice more clearly each day. It seems that within each breath of life there is an unseen current leading you to lands you have never set foot on, where every promise once quietly sown in your heart now begins to sprout and grow in the strange light of faithfulness. When you stand before the veiled curtain of reality, you may not see the whole picture, but deep within what has been prepared long before is quietly taking shape like seeds pushing through the soil before breaking into the sunday. This unfolding is not a single event, but a tender and powerful process, layer upon layer, opening for you a new space, a wider sky where you can breathe freely and stretch beyond every limit that once bound you. You will realize that what once seemed distant stars are no longer far away, but the very light drawing near, touching and surrounding you with life, hope, and the transformation you could not create by yourself. I am still at work in silence, in ways no human mind can foresee, so that when everything happens, you cannot claim it as your own strength or wisdom, but only recognize the unseen hand guiding you. In such moments, you will find humility becoming a key, opening doors long shut to human, striving yet wide to the trusting heart. Do not fear the confusion of others or their questioning looks, for that very difference is the sign you are walking a path beyond ordinary logic, a path shaped by a higher design. There the weak are lifted up, the forgotten crowned with honor, and you yourself in your smallness will be placed where you never dared to dream. Let your heart open to the sacred appointments waiting ahead. Each step is no longer merely a human act, but your rhythm joining the flow of destiny already traced. You will no longer struggle to seek or to grasp, for doors will open, as if they had been waiting for you, as if the key had always been in your hand, waiting for the moment you were ready to turn it. People will come to you not for fame or outward appeal, but drawn by a deeper force, something beyond human calculation. That force will come at the right time, neither late nor rushed. The scattered pieces of your life will begin to fit together like a picture completed by its final strokes. Paths once closed and opportunities once missed will return in new form, wider and timelier, and you will see that no waiting has been wasted. You will find yourself changed from within, not only in how you see, but in how you feel, how you love, how you give. And then you will understand that what I give is not only outward results, but inner strength to receive and walk steadily in what is entrusted to you. I call you into freedom not as one passive, but as one awakened to cooperate with the sacred unfolding. Let courage lead you across unknown lands, where you must walk by faith and not by certainty. For in those very steps you will witness miracles lack being supplied, unexpected companions appearing, resources you thought impossible suddenly flowing in. None of this is random. All is woven into a greater song where every note has meaning. You will also discover this freedom is not only for you, but so that through you others may touch grace. You will become a channel, a bridge, a refreshing stream in dry places, so that people come not merely to receive something, but to encounter the presence moving through you. Do not fear being different, stepping out from the crowd, for that is the sign you have been set apart for a greater purpose. You will feel in every word and every action a new weight, a new life, as if even the air you breathe has grown wider, lighter. This liberation will bring you freedom from the fear of failure, from the need for others' approval, so you can stand in your place with peace. For when you know everything is already arranged, you will no longer compare or compete, no longer need to prove your worth, but simply walk faithfully to the rhythm set for you. Then every act you do, every meeting you have, every word you speak, becomes part of the great flow, no longer scattered, but woven into a single story. And in that story you will see my hand, the hand that lifted you from lowliness, wiped away your tears in long nights of loneliness, placed in your heart dreams once impossible, but now becoming real. You will recognize that every loss you endured was a space for the new to enter, every door closed, only so you could find the better one opening before you. And most of all, you will recognize yourself not as others see you, but as I have seen you from the beginning, chosen, loved, empowered to live fully with purpose. Thus, freedom is no longer a distant promise, but a living reality calling you forward. Do not merely watch it as something mysterious. Step toward it with courage, Open your arms to receive and walk in it. For every step you take, every breath you draw, every moment you live is already being woven into the symphony of grace, and you yourself are a vital melody in that song, a unique, irreplaceable melody, rising to bring light, faith, and hope to the world around you. Do not fear walking the path I have set, for it is not only your journey, but the place where I am guiding every step. As you walk in that light, you do not need to prove anything nor bow to win acceptance. I know every breath, every heartbeat of yours, and I do not ask perfection by the world's standards, but only that you trust me enough not to turn back in difficulty. The peace I give is not a fragile peace that shatters in storms, but a steady peace no tempest can touch. In that peace you will learn to stand without holding yourself up by your own strength, to release invisible fears and take my hand, the hand always open to you wherever you are, whatever you face. I know there are times you feel unworthy, when your light unsettles others, when the grace I have given you becomes something they question. But remember, you are not responsible for their feelings or judgments. You must not bury what I have placed in you just to make others comfortable, for in doing so you lock your own door and dim my glory. When you walk in your calling, you are not arrogant, you are simply obedient. When you dare to shine, you are not showing off, you are reflecting what I have lit within you. Do not apologize for that light. Do not bow your head to ask permission to be yourself. That light is not yours to hide or waste. It is mine, given to you to shine in a darkened world. Be steadfast, keep your heart humble, but do not confuse humility with self-diminishment. Humility is not lowering yourself for acceptance, but knowing where you stand in my grace, knowing that your strength and calling do not come from you, but from me. When you place your confidence in me, you will no longer fear gossip, slammed doors, or rejecting eyes. You will realize your worth does not lie in applause or human recognition, but in my yes, the one who knew you before you were formed, who called you before your first cry. There will be times you are tempted to retreat, to shrink back, to avoid scrutiny or harsh words, but do not let that fear lead you. You cannot fulfill your calling while constantly turning away. You cannot see the plan I have woven if you keep avoiding the walk. Remember that obedience is not a burden, but the road to freedom. And true freedom is not doing whatever you please, but daring to do what is right, even at a cost. You are responsible only for your obedience, not for others' reactions. You cannot save hearts by silencing yourself. You can only show them the light through a life of faithful walking. As you walk the world with a heart that is mine, you will become a living witness that true peace exists, that true strength comes not from power or status, but from trust. You will realize that everything I placed within you was never meant for you alone, but to flow outward in love, to comfort the lost, to lift the weary. The light within you will be a sign for those groping in darkness, helping them see there is still hope, still a way back to peace. Do not be surprised if you meet rejection, for not everyone is ready to receive light. Light exposes darkness, and darkness resists exposure. Yet in that rejection you will learn patience, unconditional love, and how not to let hurt make you cold. You will learn to pray instead of complain, to give others the mercy you have received from me, to keep walking without letting bitterness blur your sight. I have not only given you a path, I have given you the strength to walk it. I have not only given you a flame, I protect that flame from the wind. Everything you need to fulfill your calling is already planted within you. You do not need to search outside for validation or power. All is within you because I am within you. And as you learn to believe this, you will feel every burden lighten, every fear dissolve, every doubt recede. Walk firmly, my child, for my hand still holds yours. Do not fear not being good enough. Do not fear being misunderstood. Do not fear the darkness around you. The light within you is stronger than the darkness outside, for it does not come from you, but from me, the one who created the universe, yet knows every tear you cry. I know you wept when no one saw. I know you tried when no one noticed. But in those moments I was there, and in those silent hours I was growing what I placed inside you. You need not apologize for being different. That difference is not a burden but a grace, a mark that you have been set apart for a greater purpose, for a story only you can write with your life. Do not lower your voice to make others comfortable. Do not crush your dreams to please the crowd. Remember, I did not call you to please people. I called you to glorify me. And when you do that, even if some reject you, even if doors close, I will open doors no one can shut and lead you to places you never imagined. Every act of obedience you offer today will become a seed for a glorious harvest tomorrow. You may not see the results immediately. You may only see dry soil and long, weary days. But I have already seen the tree spring up from that seed. I have already seen the fruit ripen when the season comes. Do not lose heart, do not give up, do not let words of scorn wither your heart. For it is in perseverance that you are being transformed. It is in faithfulness that you are becoming more like me. I am here not only to show the way, I am here to walk with you, to uphold you, to wipe away your tears. I know your weakness, and that is why I give you strength. I know your fear, and that is why I give you peace. I know your moments of doubt, and that is why I give you faith. Hold your heart steady. My child, for what I have begun in you I will bring to completion. Not a single word of my promise will return empty. And when you look back, you will see that your steps were never alone. You will see that the moments you thought you were collapsing were the very moments I carried you in my arms. You will realize that every rejection, every trial, every tear has shaped who you are today, stronger, deeper, more compassionate. This is not only your journey, it is our journey, the journey of an unchanging love, the journey leading you from fear to peace, from darkness to light, from insecurity to freedom, from hesitation to surrender. And on this journey, you will not only find yourself, you will find me, the one who has always been there, never leaving you for even a second. Know that every breath you take in this present moment is not accidental. Every moment you pass through has been prepared as a delicate piece of the wondrous tapestry I am weaving. It is in the seemingly quiet times, in the lonely steps, or the hidden days of endurance that you are being shaped to become an echo of hope, a witness of faith in a world still full of shadows. Do not dismiss the stirrings in your heart. Do not despise the dreams awakened within you. All are signs of an intention greater than yourself. In every drop of your sweat and tears, I see a stream connecting heaven to earth, a bridge you are building stone by stone with your faithfulness and patience. Do not be afraid of feeling small or sensing solitude, for it is in that humility that I am planting the greatest seeds. When you choose to step forward with nothing but faith in your hands, you enter an adventure where all human calculations grow small before my mysterious providence. You are not a wanderer adrift in a vast, indifferent universe. You are one who carries within you the light I placed there from the beginning. That light may be veiled by clouds of doubt, fear, and disappointment, but it has never gone out. Each time you choose forgiveness over resentment, truth over falsehood, courage over silence, when others turn away, that light shines brighter, bright enough to guide not only your own path, but also the souls still groping for a way. I see all these things, the things others might overlook, the acts that seem small and meaningless, and I set them in eternity. No act born of love is wasted. No lonely prayer goes unheard. No sacrifice, no matter how hidden, is left unmeasured in my hands. Imagine each of your steps as waves echoing far beyond the present, rippling into generations to come. You cannot yet measure the impact of what you are doing, but every small act of love has the power to awaken hope in another soul you may never meet. Each time you choose obedience instead of resistance, to live fully in the present rather than regret the past or fear the future, you are participating in a plan far beyond your sight. This is how I turn your life into a song without words, a song whose notes may seem fragile, yet are strong enough to move heaven itself. Never let the voices outside make you doubt your worth. Do not allow sneers, harsh words, or cold indifference to make you forget that you were chosen for this moment. You may not be the loudest, the most skilled, or the most powerful in the eyes of the world, but you are the one I saw and loved among countless choices. I gave you a voice to soothe, to encourage, to build up. Do not keep it silent out of fear. I gave you hands to lift, to do good, to become a support. Do not let them hang limp, thinking you are powerless. I gave you a heart that can feel, that can ache, that can share. Do not let it harden under life's storms. When you feel weary, when you think all your efforts are in vain, remember that a seed does not sprout the day it is sown. Some callings, some missions must pass through a long winter of hiddenness, of waiting, of being unrecognized. But in that very time I am deepening your roots, so that when the winds rise, your tree will not be uprooted. Do not measure your success by numbers, praise, or instant applause, for the true worth of what you do is measured only by the faithfulness and love you pour into it. Let your soul open like a field where I can plant new seeds each day. Sometimes it is a sudden idea, a quiet longing, a deep pain. All can become seeds if you hand them to me. There will come a time when you look back and see that the very things which once frightened or wounded, you became the keys that opened the greatest doors in your life. Each step, each yes you give, is not merely agreement, but a collaboration in a great work I am doing in the world. And never forget, the love you give is never lost. It may not return in the form you expect, but it will return in ways beyond your understanding. A small gesture, a silent blessing, a hidden sacrifice. All are like rays of light piercing the night to meet the souls who need them most. This is how I use you as a channel for grace to flow into parched places. You were woven not only of flesh and bone, but also of dreams and upward longings. Do not fear walking a path different from the crowd. Do not grow discouraged when no one understands you, for you are not called to blend into the dark, but to illuminate it. With every breath I whisper beside you, do not fear, I am here, and that presence will hold you when you fall, guide you when you wander, remind you that you were created for such a time as this. Look into my eyes, and you will see you are not insignificant. Lift your gaze to the heavens, and you will realize every star has its place, and so do you. Nothing in you is wasted. No step of yours is accidental. Each time you choose goodness, choose faith, choose love, you are writing the next line of the story I began from eternity. A story never old. A story in which you are the central figure of this chapter. So move forward with courage. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not let smallness make you retreat. Rise each time you stumble, love, even when you are hurt. Keep sowing seeds, even when the ground seems barren. For every drop of your sweat, every tear, every sigh has its place in my heart. I have called you chosen, you placed you in this very moment of history, not to fade, but to shine like a lamp in the night. You are the proof that even in the darkest times, there are still those willing to obey, to love, to sacrifice. And I, who see all things beforehand, am using you to paint the final strokes of a masterpiece that, when complete, will astonish heaven and earth. You do not live only for today. You are sowing for tomorrow, for generations, yet unborn, for the souls who will be touched through your life. Do not forget, nothing given in love is ever wasted. Keep moving forward, my child, for you are not alone. I walk with you in every heartbeat, every breath, every glance, every step. I called your name before the world knew you, and I will be with you to the end. You are the missing piece this canvas has awaited, and this moment is yours. Know that at the very moment you feel this stirring, a stirring not born of anxiety, not driven by fear, but of a quiet, sacred flow moving within you, are stepping into the new season I have appointed. This is no longer the feeling of fleeing or desperately searching for something vague, but a movement from deep within your soul, as though heaven's heartbeat is echoing in yours. I am acting not only in your circumstances, but within you, changing the way you see, the way you live, the way you respond. I am moving you, freeing you from the state of being stuck, breaking the unseen cycles that have bound you. You will see the chains of the past, the old habits that felt like shackles falling away, the links that once weighed you down being undone, the cycles that once drained you, the fears that once haunted you, the spirals that seemed endless are coming to an end. The enemy who tried to plant lies in your mind to make you believe you were born to struggle, to be forgotten, to stand outside the lives of others. Look now, my child. That veil has been torn, those lies shattered in my silence, and the light of truth is shining into your darkest places. Old thoughts are being replaced with new promises. Old curses broken by the truth I speak over you. You are no longer overlooked, no longer an outsider. no longer weary in futile circles. I speak over you a new word, a word that from now on will be the compass for your every step. Move forward. No turning back, no circling, no wandering in weary loops. You will move forward like a river rushing to the sea, like a sprout stretching toward the light no longer held by the shadows behind. Each step will lead you into new ground, new experiences, new grace. Your heart will be readied for surprises beyond your imagining, the things I have quietly arranged to astonish you with my endless goodness. You have seen doors shut tight before you believed that grace had run dry, opportunities gone, the path closed. But my child, in the very places you thought were walls, I will open a way. In the barren ground, I will make flowers bloom. In what you thought was an ending, I will bring forth a beginning. You will see grace flow from cracks you thought hopeless. You will see living water gush from dry rock. You will realize my grace is not limited by circumstances, nor blocked by human thinking. I will lift you up in the very areas where you once felt unworthy. Where you feel small, weak, inadequate, there, I will pour out my strength. I did not call you because you were enough. I called you to make you enough. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you to reveal my perfection through you. And this lifting is not only for you to see the difference in yourself, but so that others, the ones I have placed along your path, may be touched by the words, the presence, the look, and the loving touch you carry within. They are waiting. There are souls yearning for a word, a gesture, a light to know they are not alone. There are people standing on the edge, hoping for a hand to draw them out of the depths. You are not only called to rise, but to help others rise. You are not only blessed for yourself, but to become a refreshing rain on the dry land of others. That is why I pour my Spirit on you abundantly, not just as a stream passing through, but as a river, overflowing enough to water the parched ground around you. Your obedience, what you once thought small, is the very key that will unlock breakthrough for others. A single act of obedience can change a generation. A timely word can heal an entire heart. A loving presence can transform a destiny. Do not think your obedience is meaningless. For each step you take in, my voice resounds into this world like waves reaching farther than you can imagine. So keep moving forward. Do not fear change. Do not doubt the movement. Do not look at yourself and ask if you are worthy, for I am the one who works wonders. You only need to step. I will do the rest. You only need to open your heart. I will fill the rest. You only need to trust. I will make you a living testimony that my grace is greater than all limits. And as you step out, you will find you are no longer the same person. You will see yourself freed, transformed, equipped, filled. You will become a bridge carrying others to hope, to life, to a love that never runs dry, and that is the very purpose I destined for you from the beginning. Beloved child, listen carefully, for I am about to unveil before your eyes a vast tapestry of souls who have gone before you, some whose names the world once recorded in history and honored in its chronicles, and others whose names were never known on earth but shine resplendent in the book of heaven. You must understand that the path you now walk is not untrodden. It is not a strange or novel way, but a road of refining, of testing, of promise, and of faithfulness. A path marked by the footprints of countless ones who have walked, who have wept, who have stumbled and fallen, yet rose again with a strength not born of themselves. You are not alone in the silence of long nights, nor forsaken in the heaviness of waiting, nor abandoned in those moments when your heart feels shattered by rejection. You are treading the same path many great souls have walked before you, and this itself is proof that you are in my hands, that I am at work in you, as I once worked in them. Do you not know that before my messenger utters a single word, he endures years of hiddenness, and before one is lifted up as a lamp to shine, he has passed through the deepest darkness? I want you to look at those who were called in ancient times. There was one who was promised a nation as numerous as the stars, yet walked through a wilderness of uncertainty, trusting me, though he had not yet seen what I had spoken. There was another who received the multicolored garment of promise, yet was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, forgotten in a prison, only to be lifted up at the appointed time to save a people from famine. This is the way of my working. Those I choose must pass through the cleansing process until no echo of pride remains, until no trace of self-sufficiency lingers, until only a tender, yet steadfast heart is left ready to bear the weight of calling without seeking glory for itself. You are not the first to hear my voice in the silence of night, nor the first to bow your head to the ground thinking you have been abandoned. Yet in those very nights I am building within you a strength you have never known. Remember those whom the world never names, but heaven knows well. They do not appear on the pages of history. They have no monuments or plaques to recall them. Yet every quiet step they took laid a foundation for my work mothers praying in secret rooms, fathers sowing seeds in tears, ordinary souls giving their lives to love and serve without seeking return. The world may not acknowledge them, but their names blaze before me. They are the unseen witnesses, the clouds surrounding you, the ones who passed through fire as you do now, and they rejoice to see you walking forward. You are encompassed by the faithfulness of generations. You are not alone. Child, do not fear the silence, for it once walked beside the souls I loved. Do not fear the waiting, for it has forged those of heavenly stature. Do not fear rejection, for it has been the very substance from which I fashioned deliverers and guides. Do not fear delay, for it has been my time of preparation, my way of clearing paths and raising up the chosen. You are not the first, and you will not be the last. You are a single link in the vast chain of my work, yet that link is precious beyond measure in my eyes. Do you not know that everyone I choose walks a similar journey? They are tested to see their weakness broken, to learn to lean on me, humbled to be lifted up at the right moment. No one takes a shortcut. No one escapes refinement, for this very process is the proof that my promise will stand. As gold must pass through fire to become pure, as wine must wait through time to mature, so too must your soul pass through its season, to become clear, steady, and ready for great work. I tell you these things not to make you afraid, but to let you know you belong to a vast family, the called, the chosen, the kept, the transformed. You are not lost. You are not forsaken. You are precisely where you must be, in my plan. Like seeds buried deep beneath the soil, they must endure darkness, moisture, and the weight of earth pressing down, yet these are the conditions of germination. No seed ever springs forth on the dry, exposed ground bathed in light. It sprouts only in hiddenness. And so it is with you. Even as you are concealed, you are growing deepening roots, preparing to rise. Lift your eyes, child, and see the ranks of those who have gone before. They were not gods. They trembled. They doubted. They asked me why. Yet they persevered. They trusted. They clung to the promise, though they had not seen its fulfillment. And now they are crowned in my glory. This is the heritage into which you step. Do not let your eyes fix only on the present and forget the great tapestry. Do not let the words of others discourage you, for it is I who have called you, and it is I who will complete what I have begun in you. You stand in the midst of a great river whose waters flow from those before you and will continue through you to generations yet to come. You are not merely a receiver. You are a bearer, a runner passing on the flame. Know, child, that not a single tear of yours falls unnoticed. Not a single sigh escapes my hearing. I see your faithfulness in the dark. I hear your prayers in the silence. I feel the beat of your heart when you think you have been left behind. And as I did for those before you, so I will do for you. I will use your tears to water the dry ground of your soul. Your waiting to build in you a faith unshakable. Your rejection to open for you a door no one can shut. You are not the first to taste the pain of delay, but look to the end of those who went before they received what I promised, not in despair, but in the fullness of my presence. Do not let silence dishearten you. It is not an empty void, but the place where I work most powerfully. Do not let rejection make you think you are less. It is proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Stand firm on this journey, child. You are not abandoned in the desert. You are being led through it to the promised land. You are not forsaken in the fire. You are being refined into pure gold. You are not forgotten in the dark. You are being hidden to be prepared for the light. And when the appointed time comes, I will lift you up not by your strength but by my Spirit. I will make you a living witness to my faithfulness, as I did with those before you. Only keep your heart steadfast, touch no glory with your hands, take no praise with your lips for yourself, but offer all to me. This is the path of those who went before you, and it is your path as well. See, my little one, you are not a lone grain of sand in the desert, not a wandering fragment of soul in the vastness. You are a link in the long and glorious chain of souls who have endured testing, refining, and been lifted as shining stars. Their road was not strewn with roses, but watered with tears, carved with footprints of perseverance on hard ground, and it was precisely that hardship that forged unfading holiness. Their victories did not appear as sudden miracles, but were born of fierce spiritual battles where faith wrestled with doubt, hope contended with despair. Prayer rose in the darkest nights. In those depths, eternal glory was formed, a glory not of human strength, but of the power I poured into them. And now you walk that same road, though you may not see it. Each step you take continues the footsteps of an unseen company before you. Their blood, their prayers, their worship, their faith have not vanished into the void. They have become the cloud of witnesses surrounding you, the echo within your soul, the quiet breath lifting your steps. They do not only watch you, they cheer for you, waiting for you to carry the torch they once held, waiting for the flame to burn in your hands as it burned in theirs. You are not as alone as you think, not forgotten, among 1,000 voices, not cast aside or abandoned. Every feeling you have known, joy mixed with fear, excitement mingled with despair, tears falling unseen, they have all tasted before you. Those who went before you trembled, fell, questioned, pleaded, wept. Yet in their weakness they met me. In their helplessness my grace poured forth. And as with them, so with you, you will overcome not by your frail strength, but by my unshakable power, not by the perfection you lack, but by my endless grace. For I have never called the qualified. I call the ones who feel unworthy, and I make them sufficient. From trembling hands I raise up warriors. From heavy hearts I breathe courage. From lost steps I open a way. You were born to stand among them, to continue their story, to become living proof that I still act in human lives. As you walk, remember that behind you are thousands of souls who interceded before you, is the light that guides beside you, are those walking with you, and within you is my very power at work. You are not abandoned in the battle. You are not forgotten in the dark. You are the extension of a great story, a story of which I am the author, and I do not write half-finished tales. You will go on, you will grow, you will stand, not because you are strong, but because I am strong, not because you are enough, but because I am your fullness in every lack. Therefore, do not fear your smallness, do not be ashamed of your unanswered questions, do not think you stand alone. You are covered by the cloud of witnesses, upheld by unfailing love, chosen to become sufficient even when you feel unworthy. I have placed within you the fire they once held, the breath of those who overcame the promise that I will complete what I have begun. Even now, though you may not fully see it, an unseen hand is weaving every thread of your life with the sacred echoes of the past. You do not walk in an empty void. Each step you take falls on a path prepared as if the silent prayers of generations before have become the foundation of your journey today. This is why wherever you are, you feel a gentle yet mighty pull, drawing you toward places of stillness where your heart quiets and hears the call of eternity, toward spaces of prayer where you are purified and ignited with courage to go on in faith. There you begin to see that Scripture is no longer merely printed words on a page or distant stories told by parents and elders, but a living stream flowing directly into your reality. Every story, every figure, every event suddenly breathes, reflecting your own life and opening concrete paths before you. You will find that these words are a pattern, a blueprint through which I reveal my ways in every age, a pattern that never grows old. They are not closed pages, but a living map guiding you to the lands of faithfulness, where you look back and recognize that I am still acting today just as I acted with your forebears. And as you let yourself be led by this pattern, you will perceive the operating principles of grace, perseverance, surrender, faithfulness, humility, all forming within you a new way of living, not by compulsion, but by the shaping power of persevere. Experience itself. What you face today, whether cloaked as trial or opportunity, holds profound meaning. It is not merely an episode in passing days, but a stroke in the great canvas I am painting. You do not walk alone. You are being woven into a story beyond your sight. Every choice you make now, every small act of faith, every moment you choose, surrender over control. All these are seeds sown for a future you cannot yet see, but which will come in its appointed time. Just as the obedience of those who went before, who paved the way with prayer and silent endurance, opened a path for you, so your obedience today is shaping a road for those who will come after. This is the sacred inheritance I am building within you, one that far surpasses the span of your years. You are not living only for the present, you are living for generations yet unborn, for those who will follow your steps. Each choice, each faithfulness, each breath of prayer you offer now becomes a pulse carried through the lifeblood of a greater story, a holy story I am writing through all ages. You are being woven into a divine current where generations meet, where the memory of the past becomes the strength of the present, and where your present is planting seeds for the future. Let this awareness be your strength, so that every step you take is no longer solitude but fellowship with the souls who trusted, surrendered, and stood firm before you. You are standing in a sacred chain where time no longer divides, where grace flows continuously from one life to another, and you yourself are a precious link. When you know you are part of something so great, you will see that every sacrifice, every trial, every step of trust today is worth it, for it shapes not only you, but paths you may never walk, yet leave for others to follow. This is why I call you to walk not only with the feet of the present, but with a heart set on eternity. You are not living your own story alone. You are living mine. The story begun long before you were born and continuing long after you are gone. You are becoming a response to grace, a link in the long symphony where every generation adds its note. And as you let yourself flow with this current, you will find nothing is meaningless, nothing is lost. For all is used to build a lasting inheritance, a holy story to which you are invited to live and to write on. Keep your heart steadfast like a mountain standing in the midst of storms. Do not let the whispers from the shadows shake your soul, for those whispers are but empty echoes of fear. Darkness will always try to paint the picture of failure, planting seeds of doubt in your mind that you have gone too far, that you have no more chances, that you are slower than others. But I want you to remember, even those you admire, those who walked before you in faith and in hope, they too once heard these lies. They too faced long nights of confusion and crossroads, shrouded in mist. What carried them to the end was not their own strength, but that they held tightly to my hand, believing me, even when they could not see. And I myself bore witness to them. Through what I did, I lifted them up when they fell. I wiped away their tears when they wept. I lit their path when they walked in the dark. So it will be with you. I do not change. What I did for them, I will do for you. You may look at yourself and see someone small, someone not remarkable enough, not strong enough, not important enough, but I see you differently. You are not a forgotten grain of sand on the shore. You are a gem I have chosen out of countless others. You are not someone left at the margins. You are the one I have called by name from the crowd. When you feel like you are behind, know that you are moving at my pace. I do not measure your time by the hurried calendars of humankind. I measure your time by the fullness of the plan I have set for you. Do not fear delay. Sometimes the very delay is the time in which I am weaving wonders in preparation for you. When you think you are invisible, that no one notices your effort, that no one cares about your journey, I still see it all. I see every step you take, every drop of sweat that falls, every sleepless night you endure. I see the silent prayers, no one hears the sacrifices, no one acknowledges the pain you hide behind a smile. Not one thing of yours escapes me. I not only see you, I uphold you, and I am writing your story with my own hand. The world may not understand your process, may mock you for not having achieved what they think you should have achieved, may judge you for choosing a path unlike theirs. But they cannot understand, because they do not see the blueprint I hold. You are not a copy of anyone else. You are a unique masterpiece I am creating. They see only a small piece of the picture, but I see the entire landscape. I am the one who has written this journey, and what I have written no one can erase. What I have spoken no one can revoke. What I have planned no power can thwart. Though doors close, I will open others. Though people reject you, I will persist in leading you to the place I have appointed for you. Do not let doubt make you stop halfway. What I began in you is not an unfinished work. I am not the one who promises and forgets, nor the one who begins and abandons. Everything I have sown in you has its own season to bloom. You may not see its fullness today, but believe that it is drawing nearer with each passing day. Like a seed hidden in the dark soil, though unseen by the eye, life is quietly growing. Like dawn that comes after the night, the plan I have for you will unfold after these seemingly silent days. You are not the one who must keep the promise. I myself will fulfill what I have spoken. I am the faithful one. I do not change. If I have called you, I will lead you. If I have sown in you, I will make it grow. If I have opened the way, I will bring you to where I will. Hold your faith steady, walk with patience, let your heart beat in rhythm with mine rather than with the rush of men. For each step you take is not merely a step in life's road, but a step within the eternal plan I have engraved. So do not fear when the darkness whispers again. Do not believe the words that say you are too late, that you have missed your chance, that you have gone too far to return. For in me there is no too late. In me all things are made new. In me there is no door closed that I cannot open. I know the timing, I know the path, I know your heart. And just as I did for those before you, I will also do for you. I will lift you up when you are weak, shelter you when you tremble, wait patiently for you when you slow down, and finish what I began in you until the day of completion. Therefore lift your head high, breathe deeply, and let your heart find its rhythm of peace. Wipe away the tears still clinging to your cheeks, not to deny the pain, but to see within it the light of hope. Each step you take forward, whether trembling or strong, walks on a path marked by my hand from eternity. You do not walk in aimlessness. You are moving into a journey where each turn, each pause, each loss becomes precious material for me to shape your soul, to make it a dwelling place for life, for longing, for love greater than yourself. Do not look sideways to compare your path to another's, for I have never repeated myself in creation. I do not weave two fabrics alike. I do not write two stories the same. Your story is a solo in the eternal symphony, each note carrying its own power, and it is this that makes its beauty irreplaceable. Believe that even the seemingly meaningless bends in the road are places where I wait for you. When you slow down, when you are forced to stop, or when everything breaks apart, do not think it is failure. It is the silent lessons I give the moment I open another door, to draw you deeper, to teach you patience, trust, and the inner strength you never knew you had. Like a potter patiently shaping clay on the wheel, I am patient with you, refining every contour, removing what is not needed, adding what is lacking until your form reflects what I placed in you from the beginning. You are not a flawed product, you are a masterpiece in progress. There will be times you feel alone, as if everything is against you, but remember, each trial is not to break you, but to build strength, to awaken the power and anointing already within you. I did not create you merely to survive, to drift faintly through life. I have called you to live in fullness, to live with purpose, to live knowing you were chosen to walk as a bearer of light. Not the light of pride, but the light of service, of love, of sacrifice. Not a throne for you to dominate, but a calling to lift, guide, and encourage others, to be a river flowing through the desert of humanity, bringing life to places that seemed dead. The trials you now face, whether great or small, hold deep revelations. In every storm I do not leave you alone. It is in the eye of the storm that you will see my presence most vividly. It is in suffering that you discover a tenderness you never knew. It is in weakness that you realize a strength not from yourself but from me. Each crashing wave, each gust of wind, each sleepless night, all are like whispers reminding you that you are drawing closer to a mystery greater than your own life, the mystery of me and of you in me. Receive your trials as a goldsmith receives fire. Fire does not destroy gold, fire refines it. So too, your trials are not to break you, but to reveal the pure gold I have placed in your soul. Each time you persevere, each time you stand firm, each time you choose love despite hurt, you show the world the glimmers of a hidden treasure within. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you will see that it is no longer the you of yesterday, but a new person, mature, deep, steadfast, bearing a beauty that surpasses the pain you have endured. Do not hesitate to walk the road few choose. Do not falter when all around seems to collapse. You are called to step out of mediocrity, to live a life of meaning, to not only breathe, but to bring warmth to others. You are called to reign not with power, not with domination, but with purpose, with mercy, with anointing from above. You are called to be the one who brings light into darkness, healing into brokenness, laughter into tears. This is true kingship, not a splendid throne, but a heart that knows how to kneel, how to lift, how to love unconditionally. Remember, each time you stumble and rise again, each time you refuse despair and choose hope, you are learning to walk as a true leader, leading not by title but by the witness of your life. The more trials you pass through, the more equipped you become to be a refuge for those seeking a way out. The more you understand loss, the more you know how to offer comfort. The more you journey through darkness, the more you become a lamp for others. And this is how I use you to reveal my love to the world. Do not fear what you do not know. Do not fear a foggy future. I am already there waiting for you, preparing for you. Each day you live, I am giving you the chance to draw nearer to your true calling. And with every step I am with you, not as a distant spectator, but as a father holding your hand, as a teacher, patiently guiding you, as a friend who never abandons you. Pause for a moment to see how far you have come. The wounds you thought would destroy you have become scars that tell a story of resilience. The tears you shed in silence have watered the seeds of hope in your heart. The days you thought were the darkest have taught you how to find light within yourself. And now, as you continue to walk, you walk not only on your own feet, but with the strength of faith, the experience of love, and the unseen support of me. Do not be surprised when you feel change within you, a quiet yet profound movement. It is a sign that you are entering deeper into the mystery of me and of yourself in me. You are being transformed to resemble the image I sketched from the beginning, an image not dimmed by time but only made clearer. You are being invited not only to know me with your mind, but to experience me with your heart, to live a life attuned to my heartbeat. Therefore, do not wait for a perfect day to begin living your calling. Even today, in small work, in ordinary relationships, in seemingly meaningless moments, you can live as one called to reign with purpose, to love with anointing, to serve in freedom. Each small yes today is a brick in the eternal house of tomorrow. Do not worry when you do not yet see results, for a tree does not bear fruit the day it is planted. Be faithful, keep loving, keep praying, keep persevering. Every action, every word, every sacrifice, no matter how hidden I see, I remember I weave into a story far greater than yourself. That story, when you look back, you will see it is not only beautiful but also holy and everlasting, for it was not written by you alone but by you and me together. My child, lift your head, dry your tears, and keep walking. You are not alone. You are not lost. You are being led, upheld, transformed day by day. You are not merely living. You are being shaped to become a witness of love, of hope, of steadfastness in this world. And in you, others will see the light and be drawn to it. That is why I have placed you in this moment, in this generation, so that your story becomes a living testimony of my power and love. My child, let me speak to you of something your eyes have never seen, your heart has never fully felt the journey of transformation you are being led through. When you realize that the stirring inside you no longer comes from anxiety, no longer from fear pushing you, but from a sacred flow, that is when you have stepped onto the path of new things. Like a seed lying still through a long winter, seeming dead but actually preparing for spring's rising, I am working quietly, awakening underground streams, so that at the right time the seed will break its shell, rise, and greet new light. The movement you feel is not merely a shift in emotion, but a vibration at the roots, like a breeze touching the lake's surface and sending ripples to the far shore. I am not only acting outside you in circumstances you see, but also reshaping your soul, breaking every invisible chain, every old mold that once bound you. The old cycles you thought unbreakable, the habits, the thoughts, the limiting beliefs, I am dismantling step by step. You will no longer live as one trapped in a room without doors. The door is open. Light has entered, but you must be brave enough to step out. You once believed the lie that you were born to struggle, to be forgotten, to stand outside the good things. You once heard the enemy's whisper in the night telling you you would remain forever in the shadows. But today I declare something new. That lie is erased, defeated. It is like a brick wall now cracked, falling in pieces at your feet. You are stepping out of the darkness of mental prisons into the open space I have prepared for you. Do not fear this emptiness. Do not fear the strangeness of stepping out of the familiar, for it is only the open air before you take flight. Do not think you are being stripped away, for in truth you are being given a new gift, freedom. Freedom to move forward, to not turn back, to not circle around anymore. I speak over you the word advance, a word like a wind filling sails, like a drumbeat leading the march. You will no longer walk in circles, no longer stand still, but step by step move toward the future I have appointed. And on this journey, you will be prepared with care, so that your heart grows soft to surprises, your eyes can see grace even in places once closed. I once thought grace could only be found in radiant places, but I will show you grace right in the barren land, right in hardship, right where you thought you were rejected. I will astonish you with my goodness not once but many times, until each day of your life becomes a testimony of boundless love. You will find yourself lifted up in the very areas where you once felt unworthy. You will be invited into roles and missions you once believed belonged to others. You will come to realize that I did not choose you because you were enough, but that precisely when you feel lacking, I fill you. Precisely when you are weak, I strengthen you. Precisely when you have nothing to boast of, I clothe you with my glory. And what I pour upon you is not meant for you to keep to yourself. It will flow outward like fragrance carried on the wind, like light shining from a lamp, no longer hidden. You are given more, not to hoard, but to pour out. Your voice, your touch, your presence will become a source of life to the thirsty. You do not need to seek them out, for I've already placed them within the orbit of your life. They are waiting not for a perfect person, but for one who has walked through trials, tasted grace, and learned what it means to stand firm through pain. You are the answer to their prayer. Your obedience, what you sometimes think of as small and unnoticed, is the very key that unlocks doors for others. Each time you say yes to my voice, something opens not only for you but also for those around you. A timely word can pull someone from the edge of despair. A single act of love can heal a broken heart. A sincere presence can alter the course of a destiny. Do not underestimate the power of obedience, for it is like a stone dropped into still water, creating ripples that travel farther than you can see, touching places you never imagined. You will find yourself no longer merely a follower but a guide, no longer only a receiver but a giver. You will realize you were not only rescued from darkness but sent to bring light into dark places. This is not meant to burden you, but to let you know your life holds meaning far beyond yourself. You are not an accident, not the product of mistake, but a vessel I have chosen to reach those I love. Let this sink deeply into your heart. You do not need to be perfect to be used. You only need to be willing. You do not need to know everything. You only need to trust me. You do not need to have a plan. You only need to follow my lead. Each day I will give you enough light for the next step, like a lamp to your feet, like the dawn breaking through the night. You only need to walk, and I will do the rest. You only need to open your heart, and I will fill the rest. You only need to trust, and I will make you a living testimony of a love greater than any failure. And when you look back, you will see how free you have become. You will see that you are no longer the person you once were, the one who trembled at challenges, doubted yourself, feared the future, but one who stands firm with new strength, new faith, and a heart that loves deeper, forgives more, and lives more open. You will see that your life is not merely your own story, but part of my greater story, where every detail has purpose, every wound holds meaning, and every journey leads to light. You will become a bridge, leading others to hope. You will become a light in someone's night. You will become a voice reminding them that no pain is meaningless, no journey truly lost. And in all this, you will see me not as a distant concept, but as the living one guiding and loving you every day. This is what I am doing in you now. This is the journey you are walking. Keep moving, keep believing, keep opening your heart. For what you are waiting for, what you are hoping for will come, not early, not late, but at the right time. And when it comes, you will understand why everything happened as it did. You will see that every pain, every loss, every season of waiting was preparing you to receive something greater. You will stand there no longer trembling with open hands and a full heart, knowing you have crossed over, moved forward, been transformed. And from you will flow streams of living water, refreshing many souls just as I have refreshed you. There are those who have carried the heavy burden of long waiting, thinking it would never end. They have walked through years where their dreams lay buried under the dust of delay, yet in that very time I was shaping their souls into bright gems. I remember the one who wandered the desert for 40 years, believing his life would end in a barren land, yet in that very place I made him a great leader who led a people out of bondage. Do you see? Not a single day of waiting is wasted. Every moment shapes the person they are becoming. There are those rejected by their closest kin, their hearts bleeding from betrayal, yet I turned that wound into the very platform that lifted them to high places. They were confined in the darkness of a prison where no one remembered them yet. There I trained them to interpret dreams and discern seasons, so that at the appointed time they became a savior in a famine. Understand this. The rejection that once hurt you, the abandonment that once made you weep, will become the very means by which I take you to places you never imagined. There are others who have been unsettled by prolonged silence. They prayed, and heaven seemed shut. They cried out, and no answer came. Yet in that silence I taught them to hear my whisper, the voice that cannot be drowned by the noise of the world. They learned to live without proof, to trust without sight. And when I spoke, their souls blazed with light, for they had learned patience in the dark. Beloved, every trial you walk through echoes with the footsteps of those who came before you. You are not the first to be broken, but you will see that this breaking is the ground upon which I rebuild. Like the grain of wheat that must fall and break to bear fruit, like the clay vessel that must be fired to harden, so it is with you. Breaking is not a sign of destruction, but the beginning of transformation. I want you to know that not only the famous are remembered by me. There is an invisible host of the humble, ordinary ones who lived their whole lives in faithfulness, never honored by the world. Yet their names shine in heaven, for they held fast to my word to the end. They are proof that glory is not reserved for a few, but for all who remain steadfast in trial. You are carrying on that legacy, the legacy of endurance, of faithfulness, of light rising out of the darkest places. Beloved, never think you are alone. When you lift your eyes, you will see a great cloud of witnesses surrounding you. They cheer, they encourage, they rejoice as they watch you walk. Each step you take is not just for yourself, but for them, for the generations to come, for the fulfillment of the plan I began before time. You are not living only for the present. You are a link in an eternal chain. Therefore, do not fear the dark, for I have used the dark to train many generations. Do not tremble at the waiting, for it is the soil where faith takes root. Do not lose heart at rejection, for from it I will lead you to greater doors. And do not lose your way in the silence, for it is there I am speaking to you most deeply. Beloved, keep walking in faith, for you are not the first and you will not be the last. You belong to a great family, the family of those who have gone before, the family of those walking now, the family of those yet to come. You are an indispensable part of the whole, and I who have called you am the one who will complete what I have begun. Even when you do not yet perceive it, there is a quiet current carrying you back to your sacred source, like a river beginning in distant mountains, yet flowing to where you stand today. You may feel it in the silent hours when your soul becomes tender and deep, when faint memories of generations past seem to pulse in your heart. This is not a fleeting emotion. It is a sign you are stepping into a new land, where stillness becomes a language, where prayer is no longer habit, but breath, where courage is no longer forced, will but strength drawn from the unseen source. It is there you begin to learn that true understanding of Scripture does not come from reading with the mind, but from living with the heart, when you let those stories touch you, when you let them light each step on your journey. Those stories are not scattered fragments, but a design I have left you as a treasure. In them, each character, each event is a sign, a pattern of how I act, of my unchanging faithfulness through every age. When you look at the lives of those who came before Abraham, Moses, Ruth, David, you will see your own reflection, your own challenges, your own fears and hopes mirrored there. This helps you know you are not alone, that you are being invited into a story already mapped out, already guided by timeless principles, and that your faithfulness, surrender, and courage today are not meaningless, but resonating with a greater, sacred symphony. What you face now, whether trial, difficulty, or opportunity, is not an isolated event, but part of the process of shaping a legacy that will outlive you. Like an artist patiently carving a statue from stone, I am using each circumstance to form in you new qualities, values that time cannot erode. You may not yet see the meaning, but every small decision you make, every time you choose trust over doubt, surrender over resistance, is being sown into this story like seeds falling into soil. Those seeds will sprout not only in the present but in the generations after you, those who will look to your life as a living witness of grace and faithfulness. Imagine those who came before you. They chose obedience in circumstances they did not understand, and because of that, you can walk today in freedom, in blessings they never saw with their own eyes. In the same way, your obedience today, though hidden, will shape the path for those who come after you. They may not yet be born, you may not yet know their names, but this sacred stream connects generations like a river, carrying rich soil from a distant source to nourish the fields of the future. This gives even your smallest acts immense, meaning you are weaving a tapestry of which you see only a fragment, but those who follow will see the whole. This legacy is not merely material or outward achievement. It is a legacy of faith, of steadfastness, of love, of walking in light when surrounded by darkness. It is something no power can take away, something that will live on after you have passed, like a seed in the earth blossoming in its season. You are not only called to receive, but to pass on, not only to follow the footprints of those before, but to leave your own for those to come. When you become aware that you are part of such a sacred story, everything around you changes its color. What once seemed ordinary becomes holy. What once felt dull becomes an opportunity to plant for the future. You begin to live with a new horizon, not just today and tomorrow, but a line connecting past, present, and future. You will see yourself not as a small individual lost in a crowd, but as a precious link in this divine flow where past, present, and future meet, where the prayers of your ancestors mingle with your breath, where the songs of future generations echo from the seeds you sow today. This brings not only responsibility but also strength. Knowing you are contributing to a greater story enables you to endure trials without despair, to be patient in hardship without discouragement, to be faithful in hiddenness without losing heart. You will learn to release comparison, to release the fear of not being enough, for you will understand that I am arranging, providing, and guiding, and your part is to walk in surrender, to keep your heart open to grace. In this process, I am not only changing your circumstances, but transforming you from within. I am teaching you to see differently, to love with a larger heart, to be patient like the earth awaiting rain, to be steady like a tree standing in the storm. These are the qualities you will pass on not only by words, but by your very life, so that others may see, learn, and continue this flow. You will also discover that the times you feel you are moving slowest are the times when the deepest roots are forming. The stillness now is not stagnation, but preparation. Like a silent winter storing energy for spring's bloom, this time is building in you a new vitality, a new depth you have never known. And when spring arrives, you will see everything fit together, the experiences, the lessons, the fragments, all forming a harmonious whole. In that moment, you will walk with a different posture, no longer bowing your head in worry, no longer glancing around for validation, but lifting it high in peace, knowing that you are walking in the right direction, knowing that everything has been arranged not only for the present, but also for generations yet to come. You will become a living testimony that grace is not merely a promise, but a reality, that faithfulness is not merely a concept, but a power at work, that the pattern is not merely theory, but a path one can truly walk. That is when you will see that you are not simply living a life, but writing a legacy. And within that legacy, those who come after you will find inspiration, strength, and direction, just as you today are drawing strength from those who have gone before. This is the miracle of the divine flow. No one is left behind, no one stands outside. Every generation, every person, every story becomes part of the greater tapestry. And you even now are being invited to live, to walk, to trust, to surrender, to become a living link in that story. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to know everything. You need only to open your heart to let faith lead you, to let faithfulness become your heartbeat. Then you will realize that what I am doing in you is not only for today, but also for tomorrow, not only for you, but for those you have yet to meet, not only for a moment, but for an eternity that is calling. Keep your eyes fixed on me, like a traveler following a star through the deep night. Darkness will always try to whisper in your ear that you are lost, that you are unworthy, that every door has closed. But remember, darkness is only the absence of light. It has no power of its own except the fear you grant it. You do not need to argue with the darkness nor prove yourself against its lies. You need only to turn back to me, to let my light shine into every hidden corner. That very light will disperse the darkness not by loud force, but by its gentle presence, like the dawn breaking the night without a single proclamation. Look at those who went before you, those who once trembled as you do, who once were weak as you are, who once faced the voices of fear. They were not flawless heroes. They were simply ordinary hearts who chose to trust an extraordinary one. When everything around them shattered, when dreams seemed to collapse, they still clung to me. And it was that clinging, not their own strength, that opened the way for miracles. I lifted them up, not when they were strong, but precisely when they were weak. I turned their tears into streams of hope, their seeming final failures into new beginnings. What I did for them is not a distant story. It is what I am preparing to do for you even in this very moment. You may feel small in the sea of humanity, like a single drop in a vast ocean. You may think your steps are too slow to reach the destination, your voice too faint to be heard. But in my eyes, you are not an anonymous drop. You are a star with your own place in the sky, a note with its own place in the great symphony. You may not yet see your position, but I see it. You may think you are behind, but you are in rhythm with me, and my rhythm never falters. I do not measure your time by the hurried schedules of the world. I measure it by the wholeness and wisdom beyond human understanding. You may feel invisible, like a shadow passing through life unnoticed. But do not mistake silence for absence. I see you more clearly than anyone. I know how many times you have wept in loneliness, how many times you have prayed in the dark, how many sacrifices you have made without a word. I do not only see, I honor, I uphold. I inscribe every drop of your sweat like jewels on a crown, every quiet step like notes in the song I am writing for you. And no one can erase that song, no one can stop its melody, for I, myself, am the composer, the conductor of this symphony. The world may not understand your journey, for they do not see the map I hold. They may measure you by their narrow standards, how many achievements, how many know your name, how many milestones reached. But I do not measure like that. I measure by faithfulness, by what you do, when no one is watching, by your steadfastness, when no one is cheering. My plan is not bound by comparison. It far surpasses every human pattern. You are not a copy of anyone. You are a unique manuscript I am writing day by day. What I have written, no one can erase. What I have spoken, no power can revoke. What I have planned, no force can hinder. You may see doors closed, but I can open doors that have never existed. You may see roads blocked, but I can make a way where there is none. You may think you are lost, but I can turn detours into straight paths, mistakes into lessons, wounds into testimonies. Trust my faithfulness more than your limitations. What I have begun in you will not remain unfinished. I am not the one who starts and then abandons. Every seed I plant will bloom in its season. You may now see only barren ground, only a cold winter, but trust that beneath the soil life is stirring green, shoots are quietly rising. Just as the dawn cannot be stopped once the night is over, my plan for you will unfold at the right time, neither early nor late. Be patient and wait. Be steadfast and walk. Let your heart beat to my rhythm, rather than the rush of the world. Do not let fear make you shrink back. Do not let rejection silence you. You do not need to apologize for being different, for being chosen for a greater purpose. That difference is not a burden, but a mark. It shows that you have been set apart for a role no one else can fill. Do not lower your voice to please the crowd. Do not hide your light to make others comfortable. You are not called to please everyone. You are called to glorify me. Let your humility be not self-doubt, but recognition of the true source of all you have. Let your courage be not defiance, but trust. When you place your confidence in me, you will no longer tremble at whispers, no longer lose heart before closed doors, no longer waver under rejecting eyes. You will stand firm, not by your own strength, but by my hand upholding you. Remember that every step you take today, no matter how small, how hidden, is weaving a story far greater than you imagine. One day you will look back and see that every delay had its reason, every trial had its purpose, every tear had its meaning. You will see my hand in every detail, every turn, every moment you thought you were lost. You will realize that nothing was wasted, no tear was in vain, no effort forgotten. I do not merely point the way for you. I walk with you. I do not merely give promises. I fulfill them. I do not merely offer light. I lead you through the darkness. When you are weak, I do not abandon you. When you doubt, I do not reject you. I am there, quiet but steadfast, like a mountain standing under the sky, like a hand that never lets go. You may not yet see the outcome, but you already have my presence, and that presence is your greatest assurance for the future. Walk with courage, for you do not walk alone. Live with an open heart, for I am using you to reach others. Keep believing, even when everything around you seems contrary. For my faithfulness does not depend on circumstances. It rises above them. And what I have begun in you I will bring to completion, until the day you stand firm in the light, look back on the path you have walked, and recognize every step, every breath, every tear, every smile, all were in my hands, and nothing was meaningless. Now let your soul open like a flower before the dawn. Let your truest prayers rise from the depths of your heart like fragrance before my glorious throne. Almighty God, who has gone before me on every path, who has hidden me beneath your wings to refine me today, I bow trembling and offer this small soul to you. Grant me the strength to walk through every trial without collapsing, to trust in the midst of long silence, to see your hand even when darkness is thick. Teach me to recognize the footprints of those who went before, so that I will not lose heart but press on firmly, and give me a tender heart that bows low for you to lift at the appointed time. Lover of my soul, who has seen the tears of those witnesses before me, who has gathered their prayers in golden bowls today, I too offer to you my silent prayers. Turn my brokenness into a new beginning. Turn rejection into an open door for something greater. Turn delays into a season of deep sowing. Grant me a patient heart to wait for you, clear eyes to recognize you, and open hands to return all glory to you, faithful one. I thank you for not abandoning me in silence, but using that silence to make me steadfast. I thank you for placing me under your wings to protect me when I am weak, to lift me when I am weary. I thank you for showing me the footprints of those who went before, so that I know I am not alone. Every trial, every rejection, every delay, I now see as your grace. Source of life, I thank you for choosing me, not when I was perfect, but when I was weak. I thank you that every promise you have made to me never dies. I thank you for leading me through the desert to teach me to depend on you through the darkness, to teach me to see your light. I thank you for turning my life into a testimony of your love and faithfulness. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.